David Morgan with you at PDAC 2018, second day, Monday. Jeff Reeder. Jeff, my favorite metal.
Okay,
Silver. Let's talk about Rio Silver.
Okay, Rio Silver, it's a project in Peru, 4,500 hectares, and I acquired it by staking in 2007. We acquired some extra claims, and I merged it with a company at that time in 2011 with a company called Escape Gold, and then eventually Escape Gold used Rio Silver's name because it was a silver project at that time. Why I liked the company was a gentleman that's the chairman of the board right now, Steve Brunel, and he was involved with the discovery, you probably know of Corner Bay Silver in Mexico, which became a very profitable mine for Pan American Silver. So, you know, I known Steve, so we put the companies together, and what about Rio Silver is, why we claimed it was drilled by a couple of companies, Anglo Gold and Bear Creek, and they were looking for the good silver zones. There was a drill hole in there of 90 or 130 meters of 90-gram silver, very long lengths and very consistent. We trenched it. We saw over 100 meters or 56 meters in some of the trenches of 90-gram silver and a gram of gold, but they could never figure out where the gold was coming from. But what we did is we did some furthermore prospecting. It's a high sulfidation system in tertiary volcanics, and you know they're zoned, and you got to figure out where they are in the system vertically. And in 2012 we found the gold zone. So it's a gold silver zone, but there's a very good rich zone which is open pittable. We've done long trenches, and we sampled them very systematically, and 60 or 100 meters of 65 grams, 56 meters of 100 gram silver, all in ridges, and we think there's a multi-million or tens of million ounces of silver on this property. But more importantly, we found the gold zone hosted in the Vuggy Silica, so it's a very prospective project.
So you're looking at maybe 3 ounces or so silver, so you're looking at maybe $60 a ton. What's the gold grades? How much? Well,
our trenching that we found gold grades of a gram. Okay. So we think if we can put a gram of gold in 60 grams to 61 ratio, which is, you know, a lot of some of the big high sulfidation in Mexico showed, you know, Dolores is that type of stuff. So we're hoping for something like that. Okay. And second too, I mean, we acquired some ground from Newmont. Newmont was going to let their ground go. They contacted us, we contacted them, and we bought their ground from them. And they have a 2% NSR on their ground, but they had $6.5 million US spent on the ground. They've drilled a couple holes that have some good significant gold intercepts, which are a couple kilometers away. So we've got a very big system, and you know, I think there's about over 10 million Canadian spent on the ground in that area.
That's the fascinating thing about you know, the business, especially at this level, is that you're buying something from Newmont. They spent $10 million on it, and you acquired it.
We got $20,000. Yeah. Yeah, and then a 2% NSR, and hopefully we can pay that.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the next step with the process?
So what we're going to do, we're starting the community relations, because we haven't been in there for a few years because the market's down, right? Market's come back up, so we're going back in there. We had a good relationship with the community in 2013. We're starting the community relations again with them. Our goal is to raise a little bit of money, because we have only a $2 million market cap, 5-6 cents. We have the insiders control 30 to 40% of the stock. We want to raise just enough money to go in there to drill a few holes that we know that's going to prove our concept, our geological concept, and we're going to probably drill 6 or 8 holes this year, towards the end of the year, and then go and reevaluate the company next year. But we want to rebrand the company as you know, this gold silver explorer, because the property was always thought of just as pure silver play, but it is a gold and silver play now. So we want to do that. But this year we're going to do a small drill program towards the end of the year, and we've already had a very good community relations with them. We just have to go back and establish that relationship again, and we can do that. So looking forward, and everything goes as you outlined, you would do that without any dilution. Yeah. You probably have a better asset defined, and at that point, what would be the following step? Well, okay, so we would drill some holes this year. if we place them right, because there's a lot of trenches and we did a lot of, we could put a small resource in the following year. We could. I don't want to say that, that quite yet. We have to be careful with that. But I think within the next couple of years, we develop in a certain area. We start looking at mine planning. We start permitting the property for small scale production, open pitable, small scale production. Doing 30, 40,000 ounces a year kind of thing. Because I think the best way you do in Peru is to start your permitting process early. And as soon as you get the small areas permitted and you got a good resource and a good mine plan in that area, then you can expand the resource later and your permits are already in place. So I've been working in Peru for a lot of years. I've got a lot of good people. We know how to do this. And I think that's how we're going to do it, and then build, a little bit, but build from the inside out.
Right.
Okay, rather than go and drill a whole bunch of widely spaced holes, which big companies do.
Right.
Let's start and building out the resource inward from outward, and then start permitting it for that.
Well, it's more advantageous to the shareholder if they're willing to take the risk, because you're going to basically self-fund, because what you're mining at a profit, you can continue on.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I think we covered it pretty well. I think it's a fascinating story. It's interesting, that you were able to acquire the position that you have at the time you did it, so timing's great.
Yeah.
Is there anything we haven't talked about we need to know?
No, I think Rio Silver is management controlled. There's no royalties on the main property, so we own it 100%. And that's the way to do it. So when you own these things 100%, it gives you a lot of flexibility in the future to do something with somebody else.
Right.
So,
great.
okay.
Jeff,
okay, thanks
so
for the time, Dave.